personal note, just connecting these stories, with pastor neighbors and all of the different folks who are here today, connecting our stories and seeing each other's humanity is incredibly important in this moment. I think we're in a moment of transformation where we can choose to be silent and go back into our silos, or we can choose to connect. For me as an Asian American married to an African American man raising Blasian children, it's hard not to have felt the hate of the world kind of converge on our family this last year. And so reaching out, especially in the isolation of COVID, is so important. Every text message, every phone call that I've gotten in the last few weeks have meant the world to me. So please do think about who you can reach out to. Especially Asian American women, I'll just tell you, we are not okay. We are not okay. So checking in on us is incredibly powerful right now as we think about how we move forward. And again, we're fortunate to have Rabbi London here to share some reflection and to close us in prayer, followed by Reverend Asayo Haribe, who will ring our chimes in honor of the 8 lives before we close.
I'm at once honored and dismayed to be here yet again because of acts of violence, but honored because we do come together as community, and how important it is to do so and to not stay silent and to check in on our friends and our neighbors and those who we might not know yet, but are going to become our friends and neighbors, because unless they are our friends and neighbors, we can't unite together and defeat this scourge of xenophobia, as everybody has spoken about so powerfully and so beautifully today. As Representative Jan Schakowsky spoke about today, this week from the Jewish community, we are celebrating our holiday of freedom, of Passover. And on these days between when we celebrated the Seders just last weekend and we finish our holiday this weekend, according to our tradition, we were marching through the wilderness towards the Red Sea. And as we were marching towards that sea, we see the sea in front of us and Pharaoh's army behind us. And what can we do? This is a prayer that we say each and every week at our worship service. And for me, it really speaks to this moment. And so I would like us to take a moment to listen and to think about how we can stand up together, that the source of love, in whose image we are all created, demands that we see each other, that we care for each other, and that we stand up for each other. Standing on the parted shores, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together. And so in this wilderness, we join our hands, we join hearts, and we march together to the promised land of love, equality, respect, dignity, and justice for all. Amen.